السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. جزاكم الله خير everyone for attending today. Alhamdulillah, today we have sessions from the Muslims in Business series. I guess as you are aware, this series seeks to educate the Muslim community about different ways of achieving financial success within the tenets of Islam. In these sessions, we are joined by experienced experts, entrepreneurs, and professionals from a wide range of backgrounds and sectors. Unfortunately, our regular host, Brother Tawfiq, is unable to be here with us today. May Allah reward him and the team for the work they have put in to make this series a success. Ameen. To begin with, I am going to give the platform to our Ustad Tawfiq Abdul Salam, who will be teaching us about why Muslims should work smart. And after that, we will then move on to a conversation with our sister Zainab to learn about her and her role as a business analyst, inshallah. As always, we will have an opportunity at the end to pose some questions to our teachers. Please make use of the chat box here on Zoom and as well on YouTube. Without further ado, I'll hand over to our Ustad Tawfiq, inshallah.
Bismillah wa sallallahu wa sallimu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. And I mean, if at any point in time you guys can't hear me, please just WhatsApp me on the normal line, right? And then inshallah I'll be able to juggle around my network. I'm in Nigeria at the moment, so the network might not be good in my location. I think today MRB series is going to be a practical one. But before we go, I think it's important for the Muslims to be able to start with an end in mind. Okay, let us start with an end in mind. The end in mind is our sister Zainab will be talking about a particular role that she's also teaching Muslims in a forum called the Project Brains. And I've got beautiful feedback. And sometimes I dial in to listen into the teachings myself. And whether we like it or not, those teachings are helping and changing people's life in a lot of positive ways. However, there are still hundreds and thousands of Muslims who do not have or do not share the same mindset. And in fact, those people who have this mindset, they tend not to learn those mindset from the Muslim community, from within the Muslim community. And this is where this campaign becomes even more interesting. The Muslims who are at the top of their professional life, majority of them are not learning them. They're not getting any help from the Muslim community. Why is that? Why are the Muslims saying everything is haram, for example? Why are the Muslims not found in some work or position or professionalism that would help their personal life or that would help them even in their religion? Must a Muslim be relegated to, those roles, those jobs that we know of in London? Must a Muslim be poor? Must a Muslim just be satisfied with the little? Must a Muslim not know how to build their skills? Must a Muslim not know how to do their job properly? Let me take us a little bit back to the foundation of our fitrah, the foundation of the concept of al-itqan. Al-itqan, the foundation of what sallallahu alaihi wasallam and his companions used to say, the mindset that they used to have. The mindset that they used to have is the mindset of when they want to do anything, they perfect it. They do quality job. They are at the top of their career. They know the stuffs on their fingers. It's on. And this concept of itqan is a mindset that every Muslim should have. Why? Because Allah Ta'ala wants us to be like that. In Surah An-Naml, Quran 27 verse 88, Allah Ta'ala mentions, Sunni Allahu alladhina atqana kulla shay'in. This is the handiwork of Allah who had perfected all things. Surah An-Naml 27 verse 88. In another ayah 7 of Surah As-Sajdah, Allah Ta'ala also mentioned perfection. Alladhina ahsana kulla shay'in khalaqa. The one who had created everything and he had perfected everything he created. In another ayah, Allah in Surah Tin, Allah also said, لَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. We have indeed created mankind in the best of form. Again, it's on perfection, quality in everything we do. In another ayah in Surah Al-Mulk, Allah also says, الَّذِي خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا ما ترى في خلق الرحمن من تفاوت فارجي لبصر هل ترى من فتور ثم ارجعي لبصر كرتين ينقلب إليك البصر خاسئا وهو حسير. An ayah that if you can look into any flaw, look again. Again, your sight will turn back weak and defeated, meaning you won't be able to find anything flaws. This is in the sunnah of our Lord Jalla wa Ala, meaning it is the sunnah of Allah to make perfection in everything our Lord does. In a beautiful author that Isa sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us, he said, if any one of you want to do something, fahsanu, make sure you perfect it. In fact, he gave an example. If you want to slaughter a cow or a sheep or a ram, make sure you sharpen the knife and perfect the slaughtering. Come on, guys. Perfection mindset. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Perfection mindset. The mindset that the Muslim needs to perfect what they are doing. So, if we have this concept of quality, I call it quality mindset, perfection mindset, in the sunnah of our Lord, and in the sunnah of him sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and it is in the sunnah of the companions alayhim rahmah. If we have this mindset, then the Muslims of today, we should take a lesson to ask the question, why are we backward? Why are the Muslims not at the top of what they do? Why are they not perfecting what they do? Well, we have a lot of Muslims, don't get me wrong. We have a lot of Muslims who are at the top of their career. But let's turn the question around. How can a Muslim, make everything they do in their current job or in their current businesses, how can they make it valuable? Let's turn it around that way. And when you talk about value, you are talking about something that is coming from you to people that you're working with, either in your workplace or in your businesses. And in the workplace thinking, you are thinking about how you make yourself a valuable person, meaning you want to make yourself absolutely necessary, or let's use the word indispensable. You want to be indispensable at work. If you want to be indispensable at work, there are a few steps that I've got to advise you before we hand over to our sister to advise us. Number one is that you start with this it-on mindset, the Muslim mindset. The Muslim mindset of creating quality in everything they do, in their jobs. Before you can create quality in what you do, you must have done some few things. Have this mindset from today. Start with the end in mind that everything you're going to be doing at work will be of the best quality in your employment to your bosses, in your team to your team members. You as a manager, you as a lead, everything you do, you are going to borrow the lead from Allah's sunnah and the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and you are going to create that quality and perfectionist mindset, making sure everything is done properly. Number two is, before you can perfect something, you can do something of quality, you must focus on continuous learning. There must be an effort that you learn all the time. As we say, the leaders learn. You learn all the time. And the more you learn, the more you earn. Those things make sense. Why? Because when you learn more every day, when you engage in what we call continuous improvement on continuous learning, what that will do is it will increase your skills level. Your skill set will shoot up. And when your skill set shoot up, you will display those skill set at work. We call it show, but don't tell. You display those skills at work. You tell them, oh yeah, I know how to automate those Excel spreadsheets. I know how to do the business processes. I know how to do this engineering stuff. I know how to do this. I know how to do this. You show it off at work without showing it in an arrogant way. Yes, once you do that, people will see value at work. Then you are on your journey for becoming indispensable. Your value will increase. Your skill set will increase. Therefore, your job security will not be job security anymore. Your job security will become employment security. For there's a difference between job security and employment security. Job security is that you have a job, but you're not secure because you can be sacked tomorrow. But when your CV is heavy, people know you as one of the top 10, top 5, top 3 people in the office floor in your workplace. You become indispensable because of the value that you create out of your quality mindset as a Muslim. What you do at that time is people will see you as indispensable. Then you have employment security. Even if they sack you or they release you or they make you redundant in one job, because of your heavy CV, you grab another job immediately. In fact, people that you work with in another place will call you without interviews because they already remember the level of your skill, your level of value, and how indispensable you are. Okay? 3 steps quickly is that anyone who wants to maintain that quality, that perfectionist mindset, who wants to be working smart as a Muslim, they need to think about how they want to step up the game from where you are right now in your career. When you start imputing this quality mindset in your head, you want to go to work tomorrow on Monday morning with making sure that everything I do at work or everything I do in my business, I am going to perfect it because it is an order. It is a commandment from the tongue of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that whatever you do, perfect it. Whatever you lay your hand on, make sure it is of quality. Yeah, it is from us. It is from us. And that is what we call smartness. When you do things in a quality way, people would notice. And the top point is, don't just do that in a quality way. Don't just be smart. Show the leadership. Show the leadership. Demonstrate the skills by being enthusiastic at work, by showing people at work that you're ready to help, by collaborating. The leaders collaborate. By collaborating with people at work and showing them you really want to help. Okay? That's the number 3 step. Because of our time, number 4 step is that apart from you showing that leadership, you also want to make sure you know something that is of value. We call it value pipeline. The value pipeline to your team. What can you offer to your team, to your existing team, that they will feel like, oh, it's adding value to us? What can you do? Let me tell you an example. In my current team, I am the delivery manager, okay? And I manage a team of 21 people. Those 21 people, I don't want them to worry about how we're going to deliver, what the roadmap looks like. I don't want them to worry about how we are going to get paid or how we are going to get funding for something. No, I don't want them to worry. I don't want them to worry with our external stakeholders. We deal with more than 10 companies. Those 10 companies, I take those responsibilities away and do all the meetings and bring it back to the team. Without me, they can't do all those things. Now, I am saying this humbly so that you also can go back and write down on your table, what is your value pipeline to your team? What can you offer? What pipeline can you plug into your team? And then you're pushing the value in there, the value in there. And you know in your head that you know your stuff on your nails because you're a quality guy. Why? Because you're a Muslim as well. You're a quality person. You're a perfectionist. And because you're a Muslim. All right. Don't just plug in the value pipeline. Show the impact. Okay? Show the impact. We call it value communication. Value communication. Apart from the pipeline, the value pipeline that you plug into your team, communicate the value. Show the impact. Share your knowledge. Sell yourself while you're showing your knowledge. When you're sharing your knowledge, also sell yourself in a humble way. There's a way to sell yourself. Everybody should know that. How can you sell yourself? Another topic. Go find out, how can I sell myself at work or in my business? Show it, but don't tell it. Watch the arrogance, self-selling thing there, because we're not arrogant. We are quality people as Muslims. We are perfectionists, but we're not arrogant. But are we allowed to show or communicate our value? Today, guys, I have done meeting with so company leaders. And today, I have been able to take away from them this and this. Maybe you put on a PowerPoint slide. This is what they want us to do. I have also spent my time in breaking it down so that you guys can take the output and go work with it. Boom. Value communication. End of story. Okay? Oh, guys, there is a problem within that team that we need to resolve. You focus on your work. I'm going to have a chat with them, and I'll bring the whole story back to you. That's value communication. You are already telling them what you are doing. Thereby, you are selling yourself. Show impact. Sell yourself without being arrogant. That's the number 5th point. Number 6th point is you understand your job and you understand your industry. By the time you understand your job and your industry, you will plan to be at the topmost level of your job and your industry. Why do we say you should understand it? Why? Why do you want you to be able to, so that you can learn how to adapt in the industry? If anything changes, if any certification comes along, you know how to jump on it. If anything is happening within that industry, you know how to jump on it. Number 2 point about knowing your industry is that you don't just know your industry, you know 1 or 2, 3 or 5 people who are the leaders within that industry, and you try to find access to them for them to be your mentor. Whatever your job is, there are people who are leading that industry. Don't just look at them. Pick 1 or 2. They're Muslims or they're not Muslims. We don't care. We are thinking about quality. How can you add value to yourself in a way that you become indispensable? Thereby, you'll be working smart. Know your job, know your industry. Your job, you would know that there are skills that you can build that will help in your role. There are skills that you can build. Most of the time, they are the most difficult skills. Those skills that you don't like to talk about. The weakest of your skills. Those are the skills that when you build them, it shoots you up to the top 10, top 5 in your office floor. All right? And the last point, which is the number 7, is if you want to work smart and you want to be valuable and indispensable, you need to, lastly, you need to go extra mile. There's a guy called Grant Cardone. Grant Cardone wrote the book, The 10X Rule. Guys, 10X Rule. Yes? Some people are like, oh, but all these things are not Muslims. You don't need to be Muslims idea. After all, you're not working with Muslims. Everybody at your work, are they all Muslims? Can you call Adan at work? Can you wear this to work? So we need as Muslims to start thinking smart and start thinking practical. All right? Because not thinking practical, Muslims, is injuring our community. It's setting people into troubles. We know why, because we're in the service of the people. There are Muslims family today, they are in trouble, not just the financial trouble. Okay? Not just the financial trouble. So this going extra mile is called the 10X rule. What is Grant Cardone talking about? He's talking about itiqan, the concept that Isa sallallahu alaihi wasallam has told us. All what Grant Cardone is selling is the concept that Isa sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you want to do something, make sure you perfect it. That is the 10X rule. That's the 10X rule. What is he saying? He's saying, when you want to do something, prepare 10 times more than your colleagues, 10 times more than your, counterparts, 10 times more than anyone. You're going to do a presentation tomorrow. Make sure you do that presentation 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 week ahead. Make sure you rehearse that presentation. Face the mirror in your room. Start talking to yourself. Get ready. Don't just jump on the stage. Get ready. Success is 90% preparation. In fact, some people say 99% preparation and 1% inspiration. Oh, and in the mindset of people that are successful, the success is 80% mindset and 20% hard work. Guys, let's get into our head. All these things, some people are, is it bid'ah? It's not bid'ah. It's just knowledge that can ginger you. It's got nothing to do with our religion. It's not talking about how we are going to make salah. It's not talking about how we are going to make fasting, how we're going to go umrah. No. All he is telling you is for you to take action right now. You that you're watching me, to be action-based Muslim, because that's the way the Prophet was. That's the way the companions were. They were action-based Muslim. They don't sit down in the corner of the room and they say, oh Allah, do this, oh Allah, help me, oh Allah, with little action, and they do more prayers, little action. And Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, Inna Allah, surely your Lord Allah, la yughayyiru ma biqawmin. It will not change your situation. It will not change the situation of yourself. Hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusikum. Al-Amin, can you still hear me?
Yes, Naam, we can hear you fine.
All right, I think there's no light anyway, but at least if you can still hear me, I hope we'll get light. So basically what we are saying is that you want to make sure you go extra mile. That's my last point. 10x rule. 10x rule. Get ready. Get ready. Stop testing the water, guys. Any fear that you have right now, any fear that you have, either in your business or your career, there is someone out there who can help you. And that's why we have this platform. That's why we have the 5 to 10 p.m. every Friday. You don't have anything, call on the phone, go on the Instagram, make a contact, speak to someone. We're going to be listening to our sister who's been training people on the Muslim platform. She has shared a lot of knowledge on that platform. That one guy called me, he was going for an interview, okay? Everything Sister Zainab has taught on that platform is what that guy is using to step up his game at work, from a lower level job, lower salary job, to a higher level job. Who is that Muslim who is saying to us to live a better life, to have a better job, to do more quality work, to have the quality mindset? Who is telling you that those things are haram? They're not haram. Only that the Muslim community, we are silent about them. All we do is to ask for people for sabilillah in the mosque. Brother, please contribute. We want to build mosque. We never talk about how can those brothers get a job. We don't talk about them. And that's why we created the AMRB series, the Muslim in Business series, so that you can get up tonight, guys. You can, by tomorrow, start creating the quality mindset in your head, whether you are employed or you are not employed. You want to make sure you start building your skills. You want to identify somebody who can mentor you. You want to speak to somebody. Speak to somebody. Guys, I have this problem. Help me. How can somebody help me? Many of our brothers, they've got 3 masters. They're working in security. They didn't study security at the masters. They studied something else. How can they move from that security level with 3 masters, for Allah's sake, into a job that will pay them ×5 of the security job? When they have those more money, then we can do Umrah together. When they have those more money, they can look after their mom and dad together. Birrul walidain. And that's what we are campaigning for. We are not campaigning for unnecessary wealth in a haram way, that we're going to be buying Ferrari and Bugatti. That's not what we're saying. We are saying, Muslim, work smart. By being smart is by identifying where you are right now, identifying the gap between where you are and where you want to get to, identifying a mentor who is already doing what you want to do and making contact with them, and start the journey little by little. Little by little. Start the journey today. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Al-Wahid al-Qahar, to give us the best understanding of this submission more than the way I've presented it. Now, we have under our idea, the Project Brains, and under the Project Brain, we have Brother Abubakar Uncle Bodemi, and reward him for all his efforts, who's also the project manager for the Muslim platform. And we have Sister Zainab and Brother Alamina Modu and all the brothers and sisters who are helping out. In fact, a sister called me last week. She got a job as a Scrum Master, a wife of our brother. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. I told her, my sister, do you want me to announce? She said, okay, uncle, I want you to announce next week. She has started that job. She ain't gonna start that job, have money there, without doing something for the community. So Muslims, stop begging. Stop asking people for money without telling them how to fetch money. Let all, as Muslims, let's help ourselves. Let's create a community like the companions used to do. The companions, some of them, they are commerce people. One of them will say, you know what, let me go to the market, go and work. You go and listen to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Whatever I make in the market, I will split it 50-50. I will give you half and you will have half. And then you will tell me the hadith. You will relate to me the hadith that you learn from him. That is strong brotherhood, the original brotherhood. Today, brotherhood, it's not brotherhood, it's brotherhood. We're not helping ourselves. The one who is comfortable doesn't want to look down. He doesn't want to look at the brothers below him. He's looking down upon them. He's now opening his doors. The brothers are calling his phone. It's not even listening. It's not even nowhere to be found because it's now at the top place. Oh, you brother who's listening to me. Oh, you sister who's listening to me. Oh, you the one who has knowledge on his head. Oh, you the one who has value that you can share to the Muslims. I invite you to come and help the Muslims. I invite you to join the campaign. Contact me. Contact anyone on the Muslim platform. If you know you have a knowledge that you can share, don't die with the knowledge. Bring it to the Muslims. Mentor somebody. Change the lives of somebody. We are in this service every day. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you how beautiful this act is. Let me tell you how rewarding this act is. He said it. He said it. Sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. He said it. He said, Wallahu awni abdi, ma kana abdi fi awni akhi. Allah Ta'ala will continue to help you, you valuable brothers, you top guys in the positions that you are hiding. Allah will continue to help you. Ma kana abdi fi awni akhi. That brother who is also helping another Muslim brother. That sister who is also helping another Muslim sister. So the one who is already helping, let me give you bushra. Let me give you good tidings. Be aware that everything you're doing to help people every day, Allah Ta'ala will not, deprive you of the reward. Somebody said, I'm talking to him. Abu Roida, come get my number, contact me. The knowledge on your head, come share it. Not only you, tell someone else. We have so many Muslims in top places, but alas, we have so many Muslims below the poverty line in this country. The brothers are suffering. The level of indebtedness, the number of people asking for debt, loans, is increasing every day. We have a record. We're not just saying it with mouth. I'm sweating right now to let you know how important this is. We have a record of how much indebtedness the Muslim community we are, including our masajid. So Muslims, be smart in your work. If a work is going to give you a job in one building, they're going to pay you £100, and in the same building they can pay you £350. Brother, go for the £350 one and call me when you get it, so I can help you spend that money in building a mosque. I can help you spend that money in helping orphans in Nigeria, where I am right now. On the phone, there are so many requests at the moment. 16 requests, 16 financial requests right now. How are we going to do it without getting smarter work? How are we going to help the Muslims? The non-Muslims are converting the Muslims into kuffar in some states in Nigeria. The Muslims are satisfied with the little they have. They are now with the quality mindset. They are now with the perfection mindset. Grab opportunity, guys, and make sure you take action. Today, take action. Change your life yourself before Allah Ta'ala change it for you. I will stop here as a motivation, inshallah ta'ala, and then we'll drill down to how can you navigate yourself to the type of job Sister Zainab is doing. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Abu Zubair, over to you. Barakallahu feek.
Jazakallahu khair, Ustad. Alhamdulillah, that's very beneficial advice there. Now we are going to pivot over to a conversation with our Ustadha, Sister Zainab, inshallah. Sister Zainab, please, can you introduce yourself to us?
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, everyone. So yes, as everybody already know, I am Zainab. I am Zainab Alanian. I am also a Nigerian Muslim within the South London community. So ideally, I have been in the IT industry for coming up to 7 years now, maybe a little bit over, I'm not sure. I don't keep tabs. I'll just say 7 years, inshallah. So I am a senior within the IT industry. I tend to have, when I mean senior, I tend to have multiple juniors below me, and I upskill people into getting into, let's say, upskill them into becoming a business analyst up to a certain level, and then hopefully, allowing them to achieve better within the IT space. I am a RPA expert, so I'm not sure if anyone knows what RPA is, robotics process automation. I make a lot of software robots and automating processes within IT systems. I am certified in Microsoft as well, so around Office 365 and Azure. I'm also somebody who tends to lead quite C-level positions in agile ways of working. So a lot of people know how projects tend to have waterfallic let's say, method of delivery. I tend to lead from an agile perspective. So I'm not going to go into what that is and what we do, how we do it, because that's another topic for another day, really. But yeah, that's pretty much sums me up.
Okay, thank you. I think for everyone's benefit, we'll sort of go back, and can you tell us exactly what is a BA?
Yeah, sure. So BAs we're not actually coming from, let's say, an IT perspective, okay? However, being a BA within the IT space myself, I'm going to relate my answers within the IT space. So I'm going to give you an example. When we look at marriage, for example, okay, even within the Islamic community, we have two people who want to form a contract, okay? There's always some sort of analysis that usually happens prior to this, okay? It might be done by a family member, okay? They might ask the potential spouse loads of several questions, and look at how, possibly they can gather the requirements of this individual, so let's the female, the sister, for example, and the male, okay? The brother who wants to become one, inshallah, okay? So as a BA, there's always a few individuals, especially from the Nigerian communities, that tends to do an analysis of how compatible these two will be or could be, inshallah. These two might do this independently, ask questions. These two will then find out more information about each other, okay? These two will gather as much information as possible and do as much analysis and do what we call a feasibility study or have potential. So I like to see marriage as a business contract. It is a business contract. The BA is that person or those individuals, guardian, the parents who does that analysis, okay? From IT perspective. Am I making sense?
Yeah, so is it fair to say a BA is sort of the middle person between two companies?
It's an advisory service. It's a consultancy service, okay? Like I go back to the marriage example, okay? The person who is in between is not necessarily going to be one of the spouse.
Yeah.
Okay. There could be a third party who then helps each of the spouse understand, are they compatible? Is this going to work? What's the long-term goal here? Do you
Okay.
requirements? Okay. That individual or individuals is what we call BAs in IT. So the two spouses could be systems, for example, or two different organizations. Okay.
Yeah.
Person in the middle that is finding out this information, going through the meeting, understanding, if they meet each other's requirements, going through references. That's what we call a BA.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thank you. And I guess for yourself, how did you get into business analysis? And I guess can you touch on what you were doing prior to that?
Yeah. So I'm someone that's always actually been fond of business as a whole, not necessarily IT, okay, but business as a whole, how business work, how we earn money. I've always seen myself as an entrepreneur. I've always seen myself as a, top of the board somewhere in some, I don't know, CEO of Marks and Spencer's or something. I don't know. I've always viewed myself quite high, and I've always known that what's around me wasn't really enough. Okay. So from young, I've always been interested in reading about business as a whole. And then I actually was a teacher. I used to teach SEN children, kids with special disabilities. So I realized that I work so hard. Anything I do, I put 110% in. It got to a point where at the school I was in, my Senko never used to get recognized by the parents. It was always me. They used to come with flowers and chocolates at the end of the term. And I realized the effort and work that I put in so much. I do not do anything half-hearted. If I can't do it to my ability, I just don't do it, okay? And then I quickly found out that I can earn a lot more. It just wasn't enough for me. It wasn't satisfying for me. It wasn't, and I really liked IT as well. So I literally quit my job and I was, what's the word? I didn't have no work for like 6 months. I deliberately, I lost friends. People used to think I was sick. All I did was focus myself. I was on my laptop reading. I had a mentor. I was doing training. I was getting my hands dirty, I like to call it. I was in hands-on training. I was joining groups of different mentors who were already in the industry. I was getting my hands into projects, so live projects as well, that mimic real, IT systems. And from there, I just knew I blossomed so well because everything just kind of like that. And I just realized, and I'm not going to lie and tell you, the money is attractive. The money is attractive. So let's just, understand that the money is where like really drew me, like the work I was putting in. And I know how I am. I know if I touch something, I can potentially make it gold if I want to.
MashaAllah. Okay, so I guess in that 6-month period, was there a set sort of syllabus or courses that you took that you could tell us about?
Yeah. So this is something I advise everyone to do. Always start from a foundation. Don't jump the gun, right? Don't jump the gun in terms of a lot of people I speak to even now, they hear one word, they read it on Google and they think they know it. It's like, no, in real life, there's theory. It's like going to university. There's always the theory part of it and there's always practical side of it. The reason why, when you look at the doctor's industry, for example, the nursing industry, they have more practical learning within the field than they do in the actual classroom, is because it's so different, okay? It is so different. So I always recommend, as you are reading, so BCS is one of like, well, in England anyway, BCS Foundation is something that really got me up to speed quickly. It was very easy. The cheap course was like £75 for the certification, right? I managed to find the PDF. You can get like a book reading it. But I'm someone, I do not learn by just reading words. I don't learn like that. I need someone to show me what I'm reading. All right. So I learned that from very young, being at university and college, that I need, I'm somebody that would put my pen down, put my book down and just listen to the lecturer, listen to them talking and drawing on the board rather than me just reading my notes for exam. I just didn't learn that way. I didn't grasp information. So that's something I like to tell people. Find out how you learn and approach your learning in that way. Approach your practical understanding of the industry in that way. Use your ability to your advantage rather than your disadvantage. So if people say to you, read this book or read that book, it doesn't always happen. I know people that will read books that will attain everything, and I know people that will watch videos and prefer it that way. Or I like to speak to people. So straight away, I remember I joined LinkedIn, and I used to poach people that are already in the industry and say, look, please mentor me. I want you to mentor me. I want you to mentor me. I want to shadow you. Tell me what to do.
Was that a good way to get in contact with people? Did you find, did you get responses?
A lot of people ignored me. So what I did was I started going to events. I had 6 months in my hand. Like, I started going to events, live events, so business shows. I remember I started to go to meetups and start rubbing shoulders with like-minded people. So I quickly grasped and clinged on to people that were where I wanted to be in 5 years. It's funny because one of those people I look at me for mentoring. People I used to look at those years ago now come to me and ask me to help them with projects or work, whatever it is. So I they were my 5-year benchmark, right? So I always do, my roadmap of where I want to be in a year's time or 2 years time or 3 years time. So at that time, they were my 5-year benchmark, and I've exceeded that now because, that was 5 years. That's what I wanted to do 5 years ago. Now it's no longer efficient for me. Okay, so now they come to me. So I start rubbing shoulders with the like-minded people where I actually wanted to go to. So yeah, that's one of the things that actually really helped.
Yeah, mashallah. Okay, I'm just going to touch on, the question I want to ask here, someone's actually sort of touched on it in the chat box. So how has being a Muslim woman affected your career and your career development and further progression?
Majorly. I've been in situations where I've gone home crying. I've been in situations, you have to be thick-skinned. I'm extremely thick-skinned. I've gotten to a point where I no longer realize I've even got a hijab on my head because I'm so blended into the industry. I'm so, what the brother was saying previously, I've shown my skills. Okay, I'm now accepted because of my skills that I've shown in a non-arrogant way. Okay. Even myself, when I see Muslims in even industry, I kind of look at them and raise the eyebrow like, are you sure you're gonna be able to handle this? But yes, it has affected me mentally, emotionally, and spiritually in my deen. Okay, it's something that I really used to make dua. Okay, because for example, I could be in a meeting, I could be in a boardroom meeting with my customers, my clients, whoever it is, and Maghrib goes. Okay, especially during Ramadan, Maghrib goes, or I have kids. I have 3 kids. Okay, alhamdulillah, mashallah. And you know, they could be sick. They could be unwell. The industry don't care if you're a mother. The industry don't care if it's Ramadan. The industry doesn't care you're Muslim. Okay, now they're a bit with the whole Black Lives Matter thing and stuff. They're a little bit more sensitive. Okay, where before, if anyone can agree with me, they didn't care. You know, if anything, it was a disadvantage. And I've always felt like I suddenly then became a trophy employee. They used to, I remember people used to call me and wanted me to join their company organizations because it made them look good, you know, because when they, I mean, I walk into a room and the first thing they do is, what can you offer? Like straight away, I've sat in boardrooms with CEOs and CIOs and directors. I mean, I've engaged in massive projects that were called the default projects of like massive contracts between 2 multi-billion organizations, and I've been the only female in this boardroom, the only female, not even the only female, the only Black person in the boardroom of all these guys with suits and ties on. Okay, and I've learned one thing: not to be apologetic. It is what it is. Okay, you hired me. I'm a Black female mother Muslim. Okay, my Muslim identity first and foremost screams out loud, I wear hijab. Okay, I wear Muslim attires. So the minute I walk in, they want to know what I can offer. So I've learned to use that as an advantage rather than a disadvantage. Where I used to cave in, now I'm just like, don't think my hijab is my disadvantage, is my advantage. Okay, because of my hijab, I work triple hard. Like what the brother was saying, if I've got this presentation to do, I'm working weeks prior, and my teammates would be like, "Oh, it's not that thingy, it's not that deep, or it's not." Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, it's not that deep for you, but I've got to prove myself. Always got to prove myself. Every minute when I go toilet, I've got to prove myself. Okay, because they see me as an alien. Well, they used to see me as an alien. So, and what I've realized is I let my skills speak for itself. Okay. I've put myself in situations, places where people reach out to me now for advice and stuff. And it's just like, when I hear, you know, when I walk into a lift and it's like the company director knows my name. It's like, how do you know my name? Because I've learned to be in an environment where I'm literally the only Muslim. It's sad because it's lonely. It is lonely. I'm in an environment where I'm the only Muslim. I'm the only Muslim female, not the only Muslim per se, sorry, the only female. And it's so sad because I get a lot of females who are Muslim come to me and go, I'm Muslim too. It's like, okay, yeah. Assalamu alaikum. It's like, why are you whispering? And they're so shocked, and they see me as some kind of trophy. So I just use it to my advantage. As long as you keep bringing in my check, we're good. Take me as a trophy. Just make sure my check keeps running.
Thank you. Can you tell us a bit about what sort of parts of your role that you particularly like?
Oh yeah.
Apart from what we touched on previously.
Yeah, sure. I like to meet new people. I get to meet and speak to people all the time. Okay. I get to be an influencer in my role. I have to be an influencer in terms of I have to influence certain decisions based on factual, evidence of things that I've done, and research. I do a lot of research. Like what the brother was saying, you have to know the industry you're in. It doesn't matter where you're working. Honestly, it doesn't matter if you're a nurse or doctor, you just have to be a subject matter expert in whatever you're doing. So I do a lot of research on my industry. I'm always, I'm in conversations where I'm just like, oh yeah, did you know this new software is coming out? Or this is happening, or this is happening within the industry, or this is the news. People come to me as the RSS feed sometimes. I don't even know what RSS feeds are. It's like when you get the automated news feeds that come into like a chat or something. Yeah. I'm the one that's always posting up different news feeds and stuff that could potentially impact our industry, for example, that could potentially impact, our engagement with our customers or our clients. I'm always, the go-to for news and information. So I like that about myself, because it's a massive role, and I have to be an influencer. I have to influence, but I have to influence based on factual stuff, evidence, not opinion, not emotions. Okay, I've learned to just cut my emotions. Like where before I used to cry, now I'm just like, there's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say to me. There's nothing no one can say to me that can even scar me, because I'll be honest, my identity as a Muslim, I've always used it. It's always been a disadvantage, but now I've turned the table. Now it's an advantage for me. Okay, it's an advantage for me because the way I see it, I'm just like, oh yeah, okay, you know, they're kuffars. Doesn't mean nothing to me. Like, you know, there's nothing you can say to me because I'm strong in my belief and my faith.
That's good. I think it's something quite important because I imagine quite a lot of people sort of experience that and feel the same. So it's quite interesting to hear how, you know, it's something that's sort of turned around and is an advantage for you.
Yeah, but you have to be very thick-skinned. You have to be very, very thick-skinned. You know, you have to know how to take the jokes because the jokes do happen. They do make jokes. They make jokes about your hijab. They'll make jokes about your skin. They'll make jokes. They will make jokes. And you have to realize it's not harmless and it's not at you deliberately. It's something they're tone deaf. Okay? People are tone deaf naturally. And I've realized to use it to my advantage. So when they make jokes, I know how to make even equally inappropriate jokes, sorry. So they'll be like, oh, she's actually quite laid back. Oh, okay. You want to go for coffee? It's like, yeah, let's go for coffee. Do you know what I mean? One of the hard things, as like I said, as a sister, is I'm always having to be in rooms with men. I'm used to being in a room with men and being the only woman. Like, and I mean men, the only women. I remember one time my company took me to Italy, and out of 2,000 people, I was the only black person, the only hijab in the whole of the university. We had a massive show to show some softwares, and I was the only black person. I was the only hijab. I stood out like a sore thumb. And what did I do? I wore my hijab proud because I realized way before he speak, very introvert, like, oh no, like, oh my God, they're all looking at me. And I'm just like, yeah, they're all looking at me. Yes, I'm a Muslim, and yes, I'm a sister, and yes, I'm smarter than you, and yes, you're gonna come to me and ask me questions, and this is what I've got to show.
So I guess even inadvertently, you're even giving da'wah as well, I guess, because they'll be interested in, you know, in you being Muslim as well.
Yeah, 100%. You're always giving da'wah. You're always a Muslim representation, and you'd be so surprised how much people actually know about Islam. You'd be so surprised how much people know about Islam. If they invite me for dinner, they will say, it's not halal, but they sell fish. I've given you a fish menu. Like, I'll be like, oh, so you know, you can't take me. Do you know what I mean? Like, they know in terms of like alcohol, they wouldn't serve me alcohol if I'm going to dinner. They wouldn't. Do you know what I'm trying to say? They're very, very sensitive, and you'd be quite surprised how much they know. Suddenly, it clicks in their head. So a lot of people are quite arrogant, okay? But like I said, when you become thick-skinned, which is the hardest part of my transition, it was hard for me to be thick-skinned, very, very thick-skinned. And they will look at you weird, and they will, you know, there's favoritism, and you will not be favorite unless you can show, like I said, show your skills. Like what the brother said, show your skills. That is so important. Don't be afraid to show your skills and showcase your skills when necessary and when needed.
Okay. All right. Jazakallah khair. Please, can you talk about things that you dislike about your role now?
What I dislike about being BA.
Being a BA.
Honestly, there's nothing.
Okay.
Every
fair enough.
Every bad thing, I love when things go wrong. It gives me an opportunity to learn. Okay. I'm someone that when things go wrong, I'm like, oh yay, there's a problem.
There's an opportunity there when things go wrong.
Yeah. Like, why are you smiling? It's like, what do you mean? Something's gone wrong. Yay. Like, how do we fix it? What's happening? I'm on calls with like, you know, system analysts and, you know, QAs and delivery leads on weekends when there's a P1 on a feature that we just released or something. You know, I love it because it gives me an opportunity to go, okay, you know, is there a P1 because of the requirements? Is it a P1 because of the system? What's happening? Why is it a P1? I might not necessarily be able to contribute. It might be very, very technical, but I want to absorb that information. So next time it happens, I can say, hang on a minute, this happened last year, okay, or this happened a couple months ago, and this is the reason why. This was the root cause. This is the ticket that we created for it. This was the analysis that the tech team done with it. See how relevant this could be to help you. And suddenly they're like, oh, great. And 9 out of 10 times they're like, oh my days, you just saved off like a whole day of analysis.
Okay.
Just being able to say that little thing. You might not see it's helpful, but it really does help. It really does help.
All right. And okay, can you tell us about the necessary skills required to be a business analyst?
you have to be someone that likes to investigate things, root cause of things, okay? Not the symptoms. There's a difference between a symptom and the root cause of things. For example, when you go to your GP surgery or your doctor, right? And you say to them, look, doctor, my heart is hurting or my back is hurting, okay? They will ask you, do you have any other symptoms, okay? The reason why they're asking this, they're trying to find, they're trying to collate, enough information to diagnose you or diagnose the situation, okay? What a BA does is the BA wants to know, okay, you've got this symptom, that symptom, that symptom. Okay, you might potentially, this might be the issue. However, just to make sure that this issue doesn't happen again, or just make sure that, we resolve the actual issue, let's look deeper. Let's send you for an x-ray. Let's, get some blood tests done. Let's get some, high blood pressure tests done, blood pressure test. It doesn't matter what the situation is. We want to know the root cause of the situation, okay? Not only that, you need to have communication skills, both written and verbal, right? Both written and verbal. I've gone through intense training on how to present in front of people, okay? How to write documentations, okay? How to write documentation, sorry. How to write documentations, how to speak to people on different levels. How do you speak to the cleaner? How do you speak to the front desk? Okay, I've gone through training. It's very, very intense. It's very, very intense. Some people do it naturally, some people don't. Those are the main ones that you need. Once you've got those, you're quite good. And analytical. You have to be someone who gets information and then makes sense of it. Okay, gets information. So, for example, when my kids argue, when they will come and scream and shout at me, oh, mommy did one this, that, she did this to me, she did that to me, okay? Before I even speak, I want to hear the other person's side as well, okay? And I'm listening to everything they're not telling me. There's a way to listen to things without people actually telling you, right? You're somebody that picks holes in it's like being like an investigator. It's weird, okay? Like a police investigator. You can talk to a police and the police can tell you you're lying just by certain things you've said, okay? You have to be that person. It's very annoying for my family and friends because I'm so analytical that in my daily life, when they're telling me things and I crush everything they're telling me, they're just like, why? Why do I even come to you? What's the point? And I'm just like, go back. And this is the situation. Before they even finish, like, I've given them not a solution. I've given them information that they think they're trying to give me when I'm just like, no, this is what you're trying to tell me. Okay, so go back, give me more information. This is not complete, so go get more information for me. Or this is the information you've given me. Like, let me make sense of it. I don't want you to influence me, basically. Basically, you've given me. So I'm someone that you can't easily influence, but I can influence. If you understand what I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, so can you give us some advice? Provide any advice to sort of people that are interested in becoming business analysts and sort of the first steps that they should take?
First and foremost, you need to get engaged with somebody or people that are already in the industry, okay? Because if you say you're going to do it on your own, you're already at a loss, okay? You're already a year or two behind, okay? If you say you're going to just read books and watch YouTube videos, you're already at a loss. It's not. Or you could potentially get it, and then you'll be kicked out and fired. All right, because the books and the YouTube video, they're just bullet points of the role.
Yeah.
The actual context of the role can only be delivered in real time, or by people already in the industry, by a mentor, by doing a training course. Okay. Even the training courses, a lot of training courses I see, and a lot of people that have joined training courses and they come to me and go, you didn't do anything, I still don't really know, or, they think they've done a training course and they come to me and they think they know everything. I'm just like, no, that's just theory based. That's absolutely theory. Again, it's the whole going back to being a doctor and a nurse. You would not see a doctor that's only read the books in university coming to give you medication, okay? You have to have a certain amount of hours already in the field, on the front line, in the hospital, before they can come and tell you they're full, they're a doctor. They call them junior doctors, okay? Even they need to go through a certain amount of hours of practical understanding. Okay. Not only that, you need to make sure you are as well, you're reading as well. Okay. And not only that, you need to get some qualifications underneath your belt. They're very, very easy to obtain. Well, a bit biased, but they're very, very easy to obtain. And they're very cheap. Very, very cheap and very, very easy to obtain. Get some of those because it will give you the ground of the understanding, the foundation understanding of what a BA does, how to do it. However, like I said, the book is really thick. And some people say to me, oh, a BA, you just do process diagrams and you gather requirements. I can do it. Like, no, you can't do it. No, you need to understand systems, how systems work. You need to understand how projects even work. Okay, you need to understand how requirements are. You need to understand how to speak to people first and foremost. If you're speaking to people the wrong way, you might not even gather the right information. You need to understand everything about it. You need to be having a holistic view of situations, and a lot of people actually don't have the mindset of a BA, and that's something you need to also train for. It's a whole mind shift. It is not just skills and reading. It's a whole mind shift. A whole mind shift.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think at this stage, what I'd like to ask our Ustad Tawfiq to join us. So now I guess I'll start taking questions from the audience as well, inshallah. I guess to begin with, Ustad, I know you mentioned previously that you're currently a delivery manager. Can you just talk on that role and explain to us what that actually consists of, please?
I mean, see, in IT project management or business analysis, as Zainab was saying, everything you want to do, I think it's all about not just, I mean, a lot of people are messaging me offline right now. Sorry, I can't respond to all the messages, but I can see some messages. People asking they want to go for interviews. People asking they want to, they're applying for a job. I would advise, basically, just as an answer to the offline questions, that's not the first thing to do. Mm-hmm. As Sister Zainab mentioned, it's not the first thing to do to just go on job site and start applying for jobs. Because once you submit that CV with your name, there are systems on the job application system that records your name and your email against your name. And if you go for an interview and a recruiter finds that you are not really qualified for the job, there's a way they can blackmail you. And then you're out of the system. Unless you go back, change that name, change that email, change the whole thing. Okay? So it's important you go through holistic process of knowledge. And that's what the sister was mentioning. If you want to be a BA, we used to have what we call the BA brains. I was a business analyst myself, a senior BA for years, moving from accounting and finance into business analysis. And from business analysis, I became a delivery manager or a project manager or agile delivery manager or agile coach, whatever you want to call it. From that transitions, it is daily interaction with people on the office floor that would help you, right? So somebody's asking a question now, what's the difference between agile BA and BCS Foundation? Because I've got those qualifications myself, I can easily say to you, right, BCS Foundation BA is the normal traditional BA exams that we used to do in those days. Now, the popular one to do is the diploma, international diploma in BA, something like that. BCS, that is a good one to do. However, the Agile BA has an element of agile understanding, agile methodology, which is, it's just a methodology, which is different from the traditional waterfall methodology. Understanding how Agile BA works as opposed to traditional waterfall BA is what an Agile BA does. So instead of writing, for example, the BRD, business requirement document, in the waterfall sense, finishing, compiling the requirement, doing workshops and all that, the Agile BA captures bigger picture and breaks them down into something that we can start now. Something like epics, features, and stories. Instead of writing those big books for, I remember on a project, Zainab, I was on a project and then I was writing BRD for 9 months without even developing a single line, right? 9 months, I was still writing business BRD. I don't pray for those days to come again. As opposed to now that my BA, I have 4 BAs in my team, right? Those BAs, they will just write stories. And then boom, in the next sprint planning, we're already planning, we're already developing, we're already delivering. Monday, inshallah, guys, pray for me. We are going live on something on Monday, right? Now, if we had waited the whole year to write BRD, we wouldn't deliver on Monday, inshallah. So I pray everything goes well Monday anyway. But the point is, if you want to step into any role, BA role or IT BA role, on the Project Brain we call it Project Brain now because it's not just BAs there. I know the sister is training there, but there are other people that can train in there as well. So we have people who are PMOs who are not business analysts. So you don't need to be a business analyst to work in IT. Another question is, how can somebody who is not technical be a BA? You don't need to be, I'm not technical, all right? When I was a full senior business analyst, I came from an accounting and finance background, and I used to do financial projects more than IT, core IT project. And I used to be an SME, subject matter expert, on the financial, project that I used to do. So you don't need to be a technical guy. Yes, a good understanding of the technical landscape of the systems that you're doing is important, because you can be an IT BA or you can be a business BA, right? So all those things, they are very important for us to know. So if you want to step into delivery role, yeah, why not? Why not? But make sure you do not just learn or have a master's in project management. Do not just that. Find people who are already doing it, right? Find people who are already doing it. Even in our way of life, if you want to be a Sadiqin, Allah will say, Wakunuma Sadiqin, be with the righteous, be with the people that you want to be like. Don't say you want to be a BA or a project manager, and the majority of people around you, they're doing something else. They're doing something else. And we Nigerians, especially, I'm not saying everyone on the call are Nigerians. We Nigerians, we are bad in something. When you hear that something is selling, we all run there without actually asking, is it truly what I want to do? Is this something that I'm interested in? Those are where the question comes from. So you don't go to work and you're feeling like you really do not want to go to work. So I think the key advice for us to round it off is fine. So if anybody wants to join the Project Brains, I think there should be a link, Alamin. I don't know whether you want to, maybe people should contact Alamin, the brother who's our chairman today. And then that brother can help you to see how you can, transition. So there's also asking, she's a BA, but she's transitioning to product, which is what every one of us has done before. We had all done products. When I was doing more of card payment project, it was more of a product. If you're an SME on something, you rather tell them about product requirement rather than just writing it. So there used to be a time when I used to tell a requirement to BAs to write. So at that point in time, you're moving into product management. At the moment, I am within the product team because I'm not just delivering a product. I'm working with product owners or product managers who determine how this solution is going to look like, because we are moving away from our old massive system and then we are transforming it into a new system. That new system has to have something that is better than the old system. That's the idea about product management. So I think that sister can join Project Brain as well, or speak to yourself, Sister Zainab, or if that person can fit into my Friday time, inshallah, I can provide some thought and some advice as well, inshallah.
Okay, Khair. I think if we can quickly touch 2 more questions, and then we'll call it a day, inshallah. So, Sister Zainab, I think we want to touch on something you mentioned earlier. How and when can one learn how to speak in front of people? So you mentioned previously you learned how to sort of address.
Yeah, it's a very important skill, even down to presentation skills, how to present and create. Everyone's seen PowerPoint presentations, okay? How to keep your audience engaged is something that you must do. And actually grab a course to do this, okay? But you need to be very, very careful. You need to know the aim, or not the aim, let's say the audience you're trying to aim at before you learn how to speak to them. The same way a doctor will speak to you or a lawyer will speak to you, different from the way a BA will speak to you, okay? So would you go and do the same training as a doctor as a BA in terms of public speaking? No, I wouldn't recommend it, okay? I think you should reach out to somebody who can mentor you through that, mentor you through the public speaking or audience, relating to your audience is very, very important, extremely important. Body language, how to get your point across without boring people is very important. It helps with everything. It helps with, you know, your work. It will help you with interview. It will help you build rapport with other people. I mean, that's something a lot of people tend to miss in interviews. How do you build a common, a common vibe with the person interviewing you? You know, just by using, you know, particular ways of talking and communicating is very important. Okay, so I think you should definitely reach out to a mentor who would do that, or you can buy a course on that. I was within a consultancy who actually had another consultancy, a third party, come in quarterly and train us. I mean, I had to, it was part of my appraisal, because I was always, like I said, I was fully always engaged with partners, directors. So for me, it was something, you know, I could literally walk in a lift and be speaking to somebody who could chop my head off in a minute. So, you know, it was very, very important for me. So I was quite fortunate. If you're in the right position, you'll be, you know, people, if you're in the right company, for example, speak to, you know, your line managers, tell them you want to engage in new skills. Okay, you want to engage in new skills, do that. Please do that. These are there's always budgets for skills upskilling within organizations. There's always budgets made. Make use of them. Okay, and when they see you doing that, they will ask you to. I mean, I remember after my training, suddenly my partners every minute, oh, you know, I became their ambassador for women in tech. I had to go to conferences, and I'm just like, why suddenly I just realized, it's because you're giving me that public speaking stuff. It makes sense. And then suddenly, you know, they start putting me in front of in conferences and etc. I was then put to write an article for Cambridge University around RPA. Again, you know, just by, it was an interview-led communication for Cambridge University newspaper, student newspaper. So things like that, you know, then they make me used to go travel to a lot of the universities to gain, you know, graduates to come in, you know, speak to them about what we do, how we do it. So it's very, very important. It's very, 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 very important. It's a skill for life. It's a skill for life.
Okay, thank you. And Ustad Tawfiq, do you have anything to share on that as well?
Sorry,
no.
Sorry, I didn't get that question. Sorry.
On how one can learn how to speak in public.
I think what we'll do, inshallah, is the MIB, if you can write it down, Abu Zubair, is to tell Tawfiq and the team that we should talk about it on one of the workshops on this. I mean, it's something that even if you're not at work, if you're into business, you have to learn how to communicate. You see, look at the effort. One thing I just want you to know, guys, listening, is look at the sister talking. She has paid some price. Yeah. Anyone who can stand in front of people talking or managing people at work, they've paid the price, including the former president of America, Barack Obama, used to be Toastmasters. He used to go to Toastmasters. I am a Toastmasters trainer. So look at how many journey we used to go to Toastmasters evening. Toastmasters is an organization where you go and then you talk in front of people and they give you feedback. And we have been going for Toastmasters for many years in this country. It's like you're going to the gym. You know those guys that are big with their chest and their arms? The way they go to the gym to build muscles is the same way you go and learn how to talk to people. Okay, I have also been trained twice by Brian Tracy, physically, someone who is one of the leading personal development training that goes to thousands of pounds. And many other people who are trainers today, they've done a lot of training. They've price. So the way to do it, okay, the way to do it is to follow the same process. Do what those people who have been successful, what they have done, and then you get what they get. So Zainab has mentioned she has done a lot of training. I have mentioned I've done a lot of training. Many of my mentors all pay the price of it.
Yeah.
Action. Identify, what do I need? What do I need in my career today? The job that you're doing right now, what do you need? Do you want to step that up? Do you need to change career? Do you need to move from where you are to another place? So there are two requirements. Number one requirement is identifying what you need in your career. You can research. What do I need to step up the game? What do I need to get to where I want to get to? Research that. And then be crystal clear. That's the second step. Huh? Be very clear about what your needs are. Okay, not just where everyone is going or pushing you to go. Be very clear. This is what I want to do. Then number 3 step is identify and ask the question, what is my price to pay? Between what you want to, where you are right now and where you want to be, there's a gap. And that gap is the price you need to pay. Maybe you need to do some training. Maybe you need to join Project Brains and attend meetings every Tuesday night, right? Is it Tuesday night, Project Brains?
Correct.
Tuesday nights, Alamin?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, maybe, yeah. So where you can start with. So start, someone is asking, where can we start with? Start with identifying what you need. Let me repeat it again. What is your need? What do you need to do in your career? Research. What job do you want to do? What job? If you don't know who to help with that job, contact us. We would speak to someone that knows someone that would help you. That is why we have MRB series. Oh, we are not talking about IT and business analysis, but you want to go into another job, maybe into health sector. You want to be mental health doctor. We have a lot of doctors in the house. You want to train to be a dentist. Oh, we have a lot of dentists in the house. You want to be an engineer. We have a lot of engineer brothers and sisters. So start somewhere. Okay. Identify what you want to do. Know who are the people that you want to speak, and inshallah ta'ala, we would see how we can help as well. The only issue with some of our timing is that it has to be time boxed. So for me to be able to do MIB, to do marriage series, to do all those, it has to be on Fridays between 5 and 10. And that's the only time that I know it will work. Zainab is a mom, she works and she has many other things. So maybe she will say, okay, I'm gonna help Muslims, but please stick to this time. That's another problem that we have, guys. She's a mom, she has a husband, she has children, she has some things that she needs to attend to. If she say, sister, call me Saturday at 12 noon, please don't say she's arrogant. She's just arrogant. She gave me time. She can't even talk to me. That's the time that she has. Subhanakallahumma. Many people said so many things to us why we are trying to do what we're doing, even though we're not doing this for the sake of people, we're doing this for the sake of Allah. But please try to understand that sister that you're looking at right now, she has so much that she's doing behind the scene. Anyone who is at work, Alamin is a senior business analyst himself. Alamin, we should be asking you questions yourself. Alamin is a senior BA within an organization. The brother is wearing the white cap and she's speaking like the sheikh and all that. But he's professionally Monday to Friday, a senior business analyst. Alamin himself can train you to be a BA. Yes, Alamin, the brother that you're looking, who is the chairman today, can train you to be a business analyst. But we need to step up. Somebody does not want to do BA. I can see some name like Ade Salam is on there. He can teach you to be a core IT guy. We have guys who are technical guys. We have guys who are testers. WBA is there. He can teach you to be a tester. Uncle Bade is there. He can teach you to be a PMO. So we have a lot of people. What you need to do, brothers and sisters, is to take action. That's it. Assalamu alaikum. I think we should drop the call here, inshallah. Barakallahu fi.
Wa feeka barakallah. Naam, so we've reached the end of this week's session. Alhamdulillah, I'm sure everyone found that very interesting and beneficial, and I guess there's definitely loads to learn and take from, even if you do not wish to become a business analyst or or similar project role. I'll ask Allah to accept this from both our Ustad and Ustada today as an act of ibadah. May He increase you both in knowledge and success, both in terms of your professional careers, as well as in the deen. I mean, so our next session will be next week. I believe we will be looking into, is it the Aqidah session next week? Sorry, so we'll have our Aqidah session next week, inshallah. And of course, the details will be sent out as usual during the week. You'll be able to access the session here on Zoom, as well as over on our YouTube channel as well. Today's session will also be on YouTube, so you can go and view that in your own time, inshallah. Also, the Muslim platform can be found on Twitter and Instagram. We share beneficial reminders as well as provide updates for our programs. So please go and visit these accounts. So on Twitter, it is TMP_Da'wah. as well as on Instagram as well. So TMP_Dawah. Now, and lastly, as you know, TMP, we aim to host our sessions in a physical location from next year, inshallah. And this will be a safe and comfortable space for you and your family to gain Islamic knowledge and interact with, like-minded individuals. So please support us in this cause. Again, you will be able to find information as to how you can support us on our various social media channels, as well as the WhatsApp group, inshallah. So na'am, jazakumullahu khair. May Allah allow us to make the most of what we have learned here today and receive His mercy, forgiveness, and reward. Ameen. Subhanaka Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khair.